44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I did it, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, the firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Oh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. You PK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in that attic like they in front. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a maid, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rain for real.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look.
See the eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the pop ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls to fall through. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more hard in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than an avalanche, way above average. Beers tasty, told to make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this what hope found. Now become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans through a mall quad. Telling me how the crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Focus out there, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Never light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like that child, no danger. Trying to warn them niggas, we bear arms like a ranger. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems for it. I really see profits under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I want to check it white like a panda.
What, oils? Check 1 2 1 2. All right. All right, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema al Thaba Shem Yahweh to all the sisters. This is the Isupk Tuesday night brotherhood class. We're rocking with Priest and Officer 50 Maya Shaw, holding it down till Officer Mark gets here. And let's get right into it. Matter of fact, can one of you brothers get for me book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20? Book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20, man. I'm saying I don't think I'm overstating it when I say, you know, how important brotherhood is for the Israelites, you know, saying so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. One second. Matter of fact, now go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's very important to have that brotherhood in black, Hispanic, Native Indian communities. That's why the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations are the hell they are today. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lack of brotherhood there. You know what I'm saying? So in order to have that proper brotherhood, not just between the separate communities of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but as a whole, as Israelites as a whole, all blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians to get along with each other, you got to come back to this Bible. Come back to your heritage, first of all. Know who you are. Learn who you are, and then learn these records. These laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we get out of our condition of hell we're in on the earth. You got that, brother?
Go on.
Go ahead, read.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. And it reads, if a man say, I love God,
right,
and hateth his brother.
Stop right there. Now, man say, I love God, and he hates his brother. We see this all the time. Where? In the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? I love God. Praise Jesus. This, that, and the third. But he hates his brother at the same time. Keep going.
He is a liar.
He is a what?
Liar.
A what?
Liar.
A what?
Liar.
A liar. It had to be said here in the Bible. If you say he loves God but hates his brother, that man is a liar. You understand? It's right here in the Bible. My brother just read it. You understand? If you hate God, if you love God but hate your brother, you are a liar. You don't really love God. Keep reading.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen?
Isn't that pretty much self-explanatory right there? I mean, if you can't love the brother who's in front of you, brother who come from the same neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, from the same street, work the same slave as you know what I'm saying, be at the gas station, you know what I'm saying, you can't love that brother who going through the same kind of things you are. If you can't find your way to love him, how can you love God who you can't see, who ain't around? You understand? Don't make no sense. You understand? And furthermore, how else does it make sense when that's God's child too? You know what I'm saying? That brother, that fellow Israelite, God loves him. So if you can't love that Israelite, then you can't love God.
That's right.
Drop that for me, brother. Let's go to the book of Matthew 25 and 40. Book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40, man. And you know, if any of y'all have questions too, you know what I'm saying, y'all feel free to ask and whatnot. This is the Tuesday night brotherhood class, but you know what I'm saying, we take off topic questions.
So like
you,
you, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, there you have it, you know what I'm saying? This is, and by the way, that's a commandment by God. It's written here in this book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. All these are laws by God. And that's a commandment, meaning that's divine law. You understand? Israelites have to love each other. It doesn't matter how you feel, you must love your brother and sister. You understand?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, okay, of course, that doesn't mean we all instantly become best friends or nothing. No. But you don't have to hate that fellow Israelite. That's what it's, you know, the main point. You're not supposed to hate that fellow Israelite. You know what I'm saying? And
sir.
We need to have instead compassion, understanding, and empathy for one another. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. And it reads, and the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you.
Now, stop right there. Now, the king shall answer and say, let's go ahead. Now, the king speaking there. Who's speaking? You know what I'm saying? It's written in red in the New Testament, right? Who's speaking there?
Christ.
That's Christ, exactly. You know what I'm saying? The king, our king, Christ, our king, says, verily, verily, surely, or verily meaning surely, keep going.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Go ahead, my bad, brother. Read that for me one more time. It's a lot.
All right, go on.
From the top.
And the king shall answer and say unto them.
All right, we've established that's Christ. He's speaking. He's saying, oh, okay. He's saying verily or surely. Keep going.
Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren.
As much as you had done this unto one of the least, my brethren. Oh, yeah, sounds good. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, it's like. Can you hear it out of your because it sounded like that was dead for a second. Okay, come on. Okay. So he said, and as much as you've done unto the least of one of these, my brethren. You understand? So what you have done to anyone, the least of Christ, like the least of Christ's people, who's his brethren, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? For you to do something to the least, the lowest status of one of his people, keep reading.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
And it's like you're doing it to Christ. You know what I'm saying? To mistreat a fellow Israelite, fellow black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child. To do that is like from the highest position to the very lowest. You doing the same unto Christ because that's his people. That's who he cares about. You understand? So to do wrong unto them is like doing wrong unto Christ. You understand? And that's like. Oh, God. So again, that's Christ. That's a law from Christ, a commandment. You know what I'm saying? A commandment being divine law. You understand? Drop that for me, brother. Let's go on to the book of Salakia. John 13 and 34. Book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
Salakia, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's pretty straightforward right there. What you do to Christ's brethren. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're doing it unto him. His brethren, of course, being Israelites, as we said before. So how you treat another black, Hispanic, Native Indian is the same how you do to Christ. If you love Christ and as much as you claim to do, you have to love your brother and sister too. Now, if you hate your brother and sister, a fellow Israelite, that's just like hating Christ. You understand? So you see the dichotomy Christians have. You know what I'm saying? They hate one another, but claim to love Christ. Well, you can't love Christ if you hate one another. That's Christians always do. You understand? You got that for me, brother? Book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. And it reads, a new commandment I give unto you.
All right. Now, see, this is Christ speaking. You know what I'm saying? It's written and read in the New Testament. Christ speaking. He said, a new commandment I give unto you, which meaning a new law I give unto you. You know what I'm saying? Read.
That ye love one another as I have loved you.
You know what I'm saying? You love your brother. You love your sister, a fellow Israelite, black, Hispanic, Native Indian, just like Christ loves blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians, the way Christ loves the Israelites. You understand? Any more on that?
That ye also love one another.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you could skip up, go up one. What's this? Go ahead, sir.
How do you love your brothers if you're in a situation when your brother is against you? For example, like your brother is like trying to pick a fight with you in a club, like because you also teach that we're not supposed to be Christians.
That's right.
And so how would you handle that type of situation?
Come on, sir. So in something like that, a brother is he stay on you. He's trying to pick a fight with you. You know what I'm saying? It seemed almost inescapable. Like I said, we're not Christians here. We defend ourselves, but at the very last resort, you know what I'm saying? We try every instance as we can to reach brothers. Keep trying. It's like, look, I ain't your enemy, brother. I ain't trying to fight you. You know what I'm saying? You even walk away if you need to. You understand? Matter of fact, that's probably the first thing to do. If he still keep trying to egg you on, trying to get you to get down with him, well, shit, you just got to walk away because if he gets his hands on you, I mean, you are able to defend yourself. We're not Christians here, so do what you have to do, but avoid at all costs trying to get into that fight. That's basically it. Go ahead.
And you're at camp and Christians threaten to fight you, you don't pick the camp up and leave.
No, lie.
So would that not be kind of like the same thing? your face and they're trying to fight you,
Right.
and you turn your back on them, when that be coward.
Defending yourself is one thing, but also trying not to get into a fight and altercation is another. And you've said as many times as you could, trying to diffuse the situation, and it still won't stop. Now, camp is one thing. We're going to ground, and our camp leader will give an order that we need to we have to defend ourselves in that situation. But from a brother in the club who's actively trying to get trying to fight you, well then do all you can to not get into that fight. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I'm with a couple of the brothers, and it's a Jake in the world who's in the club as well. He's drunk. He's drunk, and he's with whoever he's with, and we bump into each other at the bar.
All right.
I turn around and I say, "Salaki, excuse me, brother, trying to be brotherly like what we teach."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Nah, man, to hell with that. Man, I'm about to bust you in your face. You don't know who you just bumped into, bro, for real. I'm about to deck you over your eye right now." Then what do you do?
I'll say, brother, it's not serious like that, and I'm sorry you're having this issue or whatever it is, but I'm going my way. I advise you go your way. I would say I'll walk away from the situation. You know what I'm saying? We are not to start fights. We are to defend ourselves. We're not to start any fights. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that, sir? Oh, okay, all right. Okay. What did we leave off on?
30.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
So what if you in the club and if someone starts beating on one of your brothers? Let's say you coming from the bathroom, right? And you see one of your brothers is in the middle of the club, rolling around, getting pushed down, and you don't know who's at fault. Like, let's say it's a situation where one of your brothers, one of the men you was with, is actually wrong, right? He could be wrong. He's too drunk. He done probably said something, trying to get with some girl, but the girl really got a husband, and he's out of line.
Right.
And now he getting jumped on, you understand, because he overstepped. And he, you understand, did something that he shouldn't have done. And now he getting jumped on in the middle of the club. You come out the gun. Then what do you do?
Well, in that case, as a fellow brother in the school, I have to get in that situation. That's something I defend my brother. Now, after the words, we make it out of there, Lord allow. I'm gonna ask him, what was that about? What's going on? I'm having a counsel with that brother, basically. I'm gotta find out what happened there and why. But in the middle of the action, we gotta get in there. You know what I'm saying? You defend your brother. All right. If your brother in the school, he gets in the situation, you get in there. All right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You defend him like you would yourself. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I pass the class on to precinct officer Yarma.
Get that brother a hand, man. We gonna go back over those scenarios though. All right, just so that you know, those are the type of questions you should be asking, because that's real life. What we talk about in the Bible, with the scriptures and everything, all of that is exactly what you need to know, and it's good to know, right? It's vital to your life that you know the mysteries that Christ had given to the disciples, which is who we are today, right? But you have to know real life. You got to know what do you do in real life. In the club, John 3:16 ain't gonna save you. You understand? John 3:16 ain't gonna save you from police knocking at your door, trying to murder you and your whole family. Right? What does save you from that? What does save you from being in the club and getting stabbed up or shot up, losing your life, breaking a leg?
I ain't gonna cut you.
No, you good?
I was gonna say, number one, first. Oh, sorry, it's like it. I would say number one, like, don't put yourself in the predicament or the vicinity, like, to get yourself in that type of situation. Number one. Number two, I will also. What was the last part you asked again?
The question is what does save you? John 3:16 ain't gonna save you in that time.
Like keeping discipline, like knowing your laws, like knowing your order, you know, and
Anybody else want to take a shot? Not saying you're wrong, but I want to get everybody's answer.
So like, yeah, I would say it's like just like how young man Justin said, you know, knowing your laws, statutes, commandments, you know, it protects you for certain situations. And then just natural awareness of being aware of your surroundings, like for real.
Okay. Brother said knowing the law, statutes, commandments, knowing your surroundings. Brother said to not to put yourself in that situation, which of course is wisdom, right? Wisdom can save you from being put in certain situations. Give me 1 second. But sometimes even wisdom isn't enough. Sometimes even wisdom isn't the thing that saves you, because you could be wise as all hell. Let me ask you a question. Let me see. Who's an example? What was that sister's name who was eating ice cream in her apartment?
No, it was a brother.
It was a brother?
Botham Jean.
Botham Jean. Was Botham Jean an idiot?
La.
Was Botham Jean wise?
Like I said, I have to know more about the situation. I mean, I just know that.
But we know the situation, right? Botham Jean was a brother who was eating ice cream in his apartment, and while he was eating ice cream, some cop was it a white woman, Thabawan? It was a white woman. Yeah. 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 It was a white female officer, right? Botham Jean is eating ice cream in his apartment. A white female officer comes, rushes into his apartment. She does not have a warrant for Botham Jean. Botham Jean is not, Shalom says, Botham Jean is not wanted for arrest by the police. Botham Jean has not committed a crime. But yet a white woman, a white female officer walks into Botham Jean's apartment and shoots him dead. Botham Jean, if I'm not mistaken, is not alive anymore. Was Botham Jean wise? You know why you tripped up on it? Oh, go ahead. You know,
We don't know. Sir.
no, you good. As long as you raise your hand, you good. And it's a good practice to raise your hand. It builds that discipline that we all need. I'm Tawad right now. I got some of that. So I'm telling you, give it up for these two brothers, man. They done turned it up a notch, man. Go ahead, clap it up for them, man. These brothers, we done came a long way. I remember I was with Thabawan. I'm waiting for Thabawan to get in here, man. I remember we was drinking that Bacardi Gold. We went from the Bacardi Gold to the Bacardi Black. And who could tell me, who could guess why we went to the Bacardi Black?
It was cheaper, sir.
Hell no. Nah. We was troopers. We in all black. We like, God damn it, we got to get the Bacardi Black. From there, we went to what? Jose Cuervo to what? Jack Daniels. Man, we had some runs, man. Any little bit. That's when brothers had jobs and whatnot. Now we all poor. We all poor, man. You understand? But yeah, these brothers done turned it up a notch up in here. But go ahead. Who had the hand raised? Sadat. Oh no, you was asked for that. Somebody else had the hand raised?
No, I was like I said, I was just saying, there's no way we could have known he was wise or not.
The reason why you so tripped up on that question is because his wisdom has none effect in this situation, which is why I'm trying to get you to understand this question or to be able to answer this question better yet. Because again, John 3:16 doesn't say Botham Jean. That's right. Knowing the scriptures, knowing how to say Shalom, Yahweh Shemi, Yahweh Shabbarakatah doesn't save Botham Jean. You understand? It doesn't save you in the club. It does not. It's a good thing to know. You can speak to your brothers. You can speak the language of angels, but it doesn't save you from these things that are in real life that's happening right now. Spiritually, it can save you because the Lord will be on your side, right? And he could, of course, the Lord could protect you from anything. You understand? The Lord could protect Botham. The Lord could have made that gun explode in that white woman's hand and her head would have got blown off. And Botham Jean would have been sitting there with the ice cream in his hand like, what the hell is this that just happened? The Lord can absolutely do that. Understand? But before we get there, what is it that will save you? In that club.
It's like a practical knowledge, sir.
Well, the answer is practical.
Brotherhood, sir.
Give him a hand. Your brothers are the ones that'll save you. Precept. Precept. I need this precept. Somebody gotta get it. We got a few officers in here, young men coming in, but I know y'all hungry for the truth. I know you got this precept. All the knowledge in the world is nothing if you don't have what the brother just said. And I damn near just gave you the precept. I'll give y'all a second to try it. If you don't get it, I'll get it for you. Officers, you want to give them a second? Yeah, give them a second.
Salaki, sir.
Uh-huh.
I would say 1 Peter 2:17.
I don't think you can read. Just go. If you pull it, read what you got. It may be close, but I just want to see what you was thinking. Go ahead.
1 Peter 2:17 reads,
Mm-hmm.
honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king.
That's not the one I want. There is a certain thing called a perfect precept. Your precepts may not be wrong, but there's a certain, remember, our job in here is to win souls. That's what all of you are learning to do. You're learning to become priests so that you can win the souls of the people who are still in the world. So you have to know how to cut. You have to know how to give the perfect precept. You want to try again?
Yeah.
Come on.
1 John 4:20.
What you got?
If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he have seen, how can he love God?
Now that is a precept, right? That speaks on brotherhood. But remember, we talking about reality and what reality and specifically what in reality protects you from being jumped in the club, from using your life in the club, from your water bill being turned off. I mean, not Salagi, from your water being turned off because you can't pay your water bill, from your electricity being cut off because you can't pay your electricity. You understand? Like if your electricity is cut off, John 3:16 ain't gonna help your lights come on. It's not. Knowing how to say Barakatai how Shah ain't gonna help your lights come on. But there is something, and the brother said it, it's brotherhood, right? Who got it? You got it? Who had it? Who had it? Young man had it? What? Well, the brother answered the question. The question is what will save you? You understand? Besides wisdom, besides knowledge, besides breaking down these scriptures, besides knowing languages, what will save you? The brother said brotherhood, but I need the precept. I want the precept that says just that.
Zephaniah 2:1.
That says gather together. That's talking about blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians coming together as a nation of people again, right? I'm gonna give it to Sada. I know you know it. My Shah.
Book of John, chapter 15, verse 13.
What you got?
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends.
Nope, that's not it. I'm gonna have to give it to y'all. If not Sadak, I'm gonna give it to Abuwan. If not, I'm gonna give it to y'all. Sadak, you got it? Abuwan, you got it? That sounds about right. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Someone get it for him. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, start at verse 1, and read it loud. Read it like you're at camp. You understand? This is what saves you. You got it? Somebody pass on the microphone. And y'all brothers, y'all work with each other. You understand? It's four young brothers coming into the school. That's a beautiful sight in the eyes of the Lord. Y'all lean on each other, work on it with each other. You understand? And y'all practice with each other. You understand? Like y'all, share the microphone. Y'all all read, so on and so forth. Go ahead, read what you got.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with tongues of men and of angels.
So hold on now. Though I speak with the tongues of men and with angels. Meaning what? What does that mean? Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels. Who is this speaking here?
You said who is speaking?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Christ, the Most High?
Mm-mm. That's not who's writing this. Am I sure?
Apostle Paul, sir.
Right? Paul is speaking here in Corinthians, right? And of course, we know that Paul followed Christ. So to say that these are Christ's words, not too far off, because Christ taught Paul, and Paul is teaching us what Christ taught. You understand? So now, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, what does that mean? What does it mean to speak with the tongues of men and angels?
A voice of which all can understand? No.
It's a little bit more simpler than that. What is it? What is tongues of men?
It's like their language.
Languages, right? Spanish, or Espanol, English, Latin, Greek. All of these are tongues of languages, right?
Okay.
What is the tongue of angels?
I would say Hebrew.
More specifically,
Lashon Kodash.
the Lashon Kodash is the tongue of angels, right? This the holy. It's the eldest. If I'm not mistaken, Tabawan is of course the Lashon Kodash master in the room. If I'm not mistaken, this is the oldest language known to man. Of course, because it's the angels, the language of the angels, right? Which is why if you read certain books in the Bible, like Second Maccabees, with the woman, her 7 sons, they made an emphasis to say that she spoke in her own language. You understand? Because this language belongs to us. All right. So now, even though you could say Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah, or Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah, or Natap, or whatever.
Okay.
Though you could speak the language of tongues and with angels, keep going.
And I have not charity.
And I have not charity. I mean, I can speak these different languages, and I know the Lashon Kodash, but I have not charity. What is charity?
Like giving back.
Mm-mm.
Is that what it is?
That's what Christians teach you what charity is. Christians teach you that charity is what you see at charitable events. They teach you that charity is giving money to the poor, or holding bake sales, or holding all kinds of giveaways and food drives and things like that. When it's not charity, and it's not even charity in the way that they. How many of y'all heard of what's that quarterback that just stole all that money? What's his name? Brett Favre. Who he just stole money from?
It's charity.
A charity. Oh, this brother came in here looking solid. I was like, yo, who the hell is this? Done flew in here from Philadelphia. Oh, Cap McCall done sent us some soldiers, man. This brother came in here looking like a soldier. So I got one. You want to take over the play? Come. This brother came in here looking like he's straight out of Captain McCall's tutelage and Hebrew Academy, man. Good night. But of course, he stole money from the charity. Even downtown, we're in Raleigh, right? Where we have camp at. If you go to the camp spot in Raleigh, they have the little food drives every Saturday where we go out there and they passing out food or not. That is about to end in 2 weeks. Who could take a guess why the food drive is about to end in 2 weeks?
Food shortage.
Not a food shortage. Somebody got in trouble for doing something.
Oh, it's like money stolen.
They were stealing the money. The people was getting money and they was handing out breadcrumbs, but they was taking a lump sum of the money for themselves. And now they shutting it down and redoing investigations and all this nonsense, right? So now the people of Raleigh have to starve because they don't have what? Because in this, they don't have what? What does Raleigh not have for those people that live under bridges? They don't have brotherhood. They don't have charity. You understand? Their charity is fake. Because their charity is nothing more than an event. It's nothing more than just than this show. It's shown like what Christians believe that. I hate this. Salakia. Christians believe that what they do outwardly is what makes them a child of God. They believe that because they wear a cross on their neck, and because they go to a bake sale, or because they hold a food drive, or because they donate 20 cents a day to some starving African, that is what makes them what makes them a child of God. But what really makes you a child of God is what you do inwardly. It's the things that it's what people don't see. You know what people don't see? when you don't steal the money from the people in Raleigh. That's what people would never see, and they would never talk about it. You holding an event and you don't steal the money from the men and women who are poor in Raleigh, no one would ever see that. But they don't have what they believe is what people see is what makes them a child of God, which is why they'll have the food drive, they'll have the bake sale, they'll pass out the bread or pass out the turkeys during Thanksgiving, but really they're stealing money from the poor. But really, they don't give a damn about the people that they're passing out food to. It's just a front so that everyone else would think that they're what? That they are a child of God, that they actually love black people, when in actuality, they don't. They don't give a damn about black people. All they want to do is to continue getting rich. And how do they get rich? Well, they have to give you something. They have to give you a little gift here, a little turkey here, a little cranberry sauce here, little bags of mac and cheese here. Otherwise, what? You won't believe them to be a child of God. You won't believe them to be a man of God, and so you wouldn't give them their money no more. And it's a front. They don't have brotherhood. They have events that they hold to keep their seat so that you won't turn to the true brothers and to the true men of the Lord that's in the earth right now in the ISUPK.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead. What you got?
Scripture that backs that up.
It's a lot of scriptures that back that up.
Something called, correct me, I'm paraphrasing it. No, at the beginning of it is man sees the outer appearance or something like
but
that.
They judge outwardly, but they do not judge inwardly.
That's what I'm
You understand? And that's a perfect precept. You understand? Because we look at what people look like, but we don't look at what they do. You understand? That's why pastors always got to look what? They always have to look fly. They always got to look clean, because you associate being fly and clean with being the next thing to God, with being the next thing to famous and rich, or whatever the case may be, whatever stupid thing you compare that to. But that's what we do, and that's why they do it. You understand? But charity is brotherhood. It's not stealing money from your brother. It is defending your brother in the club, and it's making sure that your brother has water. It's making sure that your brother has heat, making sure that his children are okay, making sure no one is harming your family in any way. Keep reading.
And I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And although I have the sorry about Slakia, verse 2. And although I have the gift of prophecy.
So even though I can break down these scriptures and I could prophesy unto you what would happen thousands of years ago, I mean thousands of years ahead of my time, even though I could tell you what happened thousands of years ago, you understand? Tell you about how Moses departed the Red Sea, and how Moses didn't depart the Red Sea by just sticking a staff in the water and just splitting up, but by telling you how winds came from the east and started to pierce the sea until it divided so that they could walk through. Even though I can do these things because I have the mysteries. Keep going.
And understand all mysteries and of knowledge.
I have the knowledge of these records, the knowledge of how to save our people. Keep going.
And though I have all faith.
And though I have all the faith, I truly believe that one day that Christ is going to come back and save our people. Keep going.
So that I could remove mountains. And have not charity.
If I have not charity, if I have not brotherhood, if I don't have what the whole UPK hinges on, you understand? Christ said this, that the whole law hinges on these two: to love the Lord with all thy heart and to love thy brother as thyself. If you do not have brotherhood, keep going.
I am nothing.
I am what?
I am nothing.
I am nothing. Right. You are nothing without brotherhood, which is why it's important to never be what? To never be an individualite. You can never be an individualite or some brother who is alone inside of their room, smoking weed, getting high, trying to break down scriptures and watching Dapawan on Friday, learning how to say Barakataya Hawaiian Hawashah, and then going to the club and thinking that you're somebody. Because you are what? Read it again.
Nothing.
You're what?
Nothing.
You go to the club thinking because you could break down John 3:16 the correct way because you heard it from General Hyman, and now you trying to woo some woman over at the club because you know a little bit of Hebrew. What are you?
Nothing.
You're nothing. You're nothing. You understand? You are absolutely nothing without the men and women that are sitting in this room right here. You know why? Because with all of the brain power you have, with all of the Googling you've done, the weed that you smoke, the breakdowns you done stole, with everything that you think you have in your little brain, when you leave outside of these walls to the real men who control this earth, you're nothing but a nigga. And they'll murder you in a second. They'll kill you in a second. You understand? With all of the devices that America has set up to trap you, all of the imprisonment tactics that they have set up in this world, that you are raised up by Christians who don't have charity, which is why you don't know how to be taught to just pay your taxes. You don't know that. You think that it's better to avoid paying your taxes. You think that it's better to avoid wearing your seatbelt or to avoid getting your license reinstated. You think it's better because you're raised by men who don't love you. When Commander General Yohana would never tell you to do that. Commander General Yohana would tell you to follow the law of the land. He would tell you to do everything you have to do so that they don't have a reason to come and murder you. Why? Because Commander General Yohana has Brotherhood, and he's also going to be the one to bury you. He would also be the one who burdens your death inside of this school, along with Captain Isupk, for any other brother that's in North Carolina or under any of his zones. You understand? That's real brotherhood. And without it, we are nothing, which is why we have to keep each other. Which is why it's so important that you brothers are in this class and you're in all black and you're learning these things, but you're learning it together. You understand? Because if you alone, good night, what the hell are you going to do? How many of y'all ever seen the movie Red Dawn? Y'all seen it, right? If you've seen Red Dawn is about a movie with, I think one day it starts off at like a football game, right? Regular day. And it's so beautiful. Red Dawn is about Edomites, right? But it's so beautiful how they did it because it's so perfect. It's so perfect, and it shows you how much brotherhood is very important, because it starts off at some high school with some star athletes playing on a football game on Friday night. Then the next day, guess what's happening? Koreans are flying in. Y'all, you go outside your door, and Koreans are floating down with AK-47s and AR-15s, and they're about to shoot you and everyone you know, all of your family members. And that day, does learning how to break down John 3:16 matter? No. But the brother that you can call does. The evacuation plan that Commander General Yohana has set up for each zone in the ISUPK across the whole world, that matters that day. The resources that we have gathered, the supplies that we have, the Hebrew Academy that you've been raised up in, that covering that day is going to matter. And the people around you is going to be like that woman who was grabbing for Christ. They're going to be trying to get to you like, where them black army niggas at? Where them niggas who was marching in the street at? We got to get with them in that day, because then you'll see exactly how brotherhood matters, how much it matters. Right. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor.
Hold on now. What we just talking about? Your Christian pastor believes that what? That he gives his goods to the poor and have food drives, and he gives out turkeys for Thanksgiving. That he's done something. Keep going.
And though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity,
and have not brotherhood, keep going,
it profiteth me nothing.
Meaning nothing that you do is going, nothing that you do outside of the brotherhood, outside of being one with the Most High in Christ in this one body, it'll profit you nothing. Right. It doesn't matter how many camps you go to in some fake Israelite group. It doesn't matter if you want to be in AOC or GOCC or GMC or IUIC or what other alphabet group you could come up with. It doesn't matter. You think you're doing something, but you're doing absolutely nothing, because you are going against One West, which they all give reverence to. They all love to talk about One West and how One West was this and how One West was that, but yet One West is right here, and they have left you, and we're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. This is going right into my topic. You understand? Keep going.
It profiteth me nothing, right? So, verse 4. Charity suffereth long.
Charity suffereth long.
And it is kind.
And it is kind. What does it mean that charity suffereth long?
Salakia is kind. It ain't. And is kind. Not it is. Salakia.
But what does it mean? Charity suffereth long. Sis, if you want to answer too, you can. Come on, get up in here. I know you know it. What you got? Anybody want to take a shot at it?
Meaning.
Do we got water in the back? Salakia. We could anybody need water, just go ahead and let the guard know, or let Officer Sadak know. We'll get it on. We got a question online. No sweat. No sweat. I'm gonna let me we got the question. Let me see if the brothers can answer this first. We're gonna finish this precept out.
Yeah.
hmm
So meaning that without it, it's I don't know how to really explain.
All right, no sweat. Look, what is charity? No, keep the mic. Keep the mic. We're gonna work it through. What is charity? Remember what we just said. Charity is brotherhood, right? And what does it mean to suffer something? To endure it, right? That's perfect. To allow it. If I suffer you to punch me in my face, that means I allow it without retaliating, right? So brotherhood endures long. It endures for a long time. What does that mean? There's no sweat.
You said, what was the question?
Brotherhood endures for a long time. What does that mean?
Like it goes through, like it's for a season, like a season of time.
Not a season, because a season ends. This how let the young man take a shot.
The effect of it goes a long way.
The effect would go a long way, but specifically the brotherhood. Remember, but think about the world that you come from. Think about the people that you've known. Think about the boys that you said that they were your day ones, right? And think about how many of them do you still talk to? How many of them do you still know? It may be what, 1, 2, maybe 3 if you really got some good friends that you've known since middle school, high school. But think about them. Did their brotherhood suffer long? No. Some of them will rob you today. Some of them will sleep with your woman today. Some of them will lie to you. Some of them will steal from you. They would hurt you. They would talk about you behind your back because their brotherhood does not suffereth long, but ours does. Meaning what?
It's like it endures.
It
keeps
endures. It never ends. The way that we forgive each other, the way that we treat each other, the way that we keep our rank and our order and our structure in this school, the way we deal with disputes, the way we go to counsel, the way we handle each other inside of this school never ends. You understand? Meaning, just because a brother may come in here, right? And he may have a problem with another brother. And this brother may be all kinds of schizophrenic, all kinds of demons, and all kinds of bipolar, all kinds of mental disorders, so on and so forth. And because of the scriptures, you do what? When he wrongs you the first time, what do? Because of the scriptures, you suffer it. You allow it. Why? Because Christ says so, right? Christ said to suffer thy brother to offend you, right? You go to counsel, the counsel says the brother was wrong, you say no sweat, and then you move forward. And then let's say he does it again. And he does it again, and he does it again. Now, does that give you the right now to say, you know what? Nah, he don't need to be in here, or I ain't gonna be in that school no more. Right? What does it do? Or for a woman who has a husband, who she swears up and down is terrible. This is a terrible person. He done beat on me. He done lied to me. I know he out there sleeping with whores. I know it. I went through his phone. I seen the naked girl dancing in his phone. And y'all won't kick him out the school. You keep fining him $300. And then he asked me to pay for it. And he's still in the school. Well, then if he gonna be in the school, I ain't gonna be in the school. Or better yet, he done got that other woman. He got another wife. And if she gonna be at the Passover, I'm not gonna be there. If she gonna be at the feast, I'm not gonna be at the feast. Is she going to class? Yeah, she gonna be there. Well, I'm not gonna go to class. Why? Because her brotherhood doesn't suffereth long. You know how long her brotherhood lasts? As long as she's comfortable, as long as it makes sense for her, as long as she can be comfortable and she doesn't have to suffer anything, that's how long she'll suffer it. But the second you actually have to suffer something, the second you actually have to allow something that you honestly hate, that you cannot stand, you can't stand to look at a brother who was inside the classroom because you know something he did, because he did something and you know he did it and he's disgusting and he should just be with some other group. Why he got to be in here with me when I ain't never did anything? The second you think like that is the second that your brotherhood ain't suffering along. And there's one thing that you should remember. that you was a sinner just like him before you found this.
That's right.
You were just like him. And the same way you got a chance after you should have died when you smoked weed, after you should have got lung cancer when you put that cigarette in your mouth, when you should have got arrested for life when you murdered that brother from gang banging and drug violence, and you should have died from drug addiction. Now this brother has another chance to come and save his life the same way you had one. You understand? Because we all should be dead. There's one man who died for no reason, and that's our king. It's Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew. You understand? But the rest of us, we have a debt that has to be paid. And so, yeah, you may sit in that classroom and you gonna hate that woman that's sitting beside you because she is having sex with your man. And you know she's having sex with him. And you know that he loves it. But you're gonna have to endure it. You're gonna have to suffer it because you have charity and you are actually a child of God, unlike your Christian pastor. You understand? Go ahead.
I was going to say there's a scripture that talks about when you were talking about like enduring. Like, what's the scripture when you say pretty much like what's it called? I think it's in the book of Luke.
Who offend you 77 times.
It's that one too, but there's another one. It's called "Be ye merciful, just as your Father was merciful." When you was talking about like you don't like get mad at somebody just because you know you was out in the world as well,
right?
So, but you know Christ forgave us. You know He died for us.
Right, He died for us.
So yeah, it's in the book of Luke. I can't remember like the exact scripture, but I know it's in the book of Luke. Be ye merciful, just as your Father was merciful.
Right, no sweat. You understand? You go to that one, or you go to where Paul asked Christ, "How many times shall I forget my brother who has had offended me?" And Christ said, and Paul said, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm saying something wrong. But Christ said, no, Paul asked it to be 7 times that I allow my brother to offend against me. And Christ said, not 7, but 70 times 7, meaning forever. You understand? You allow these things to happen because you have a debt that you cannot pay. You understand? Go ahead.
What if like a person like has like in the past, I'm gonna use myself for example before I came into the truth. Like I was one of those people, and I still kind of battle with this. I'm glad you bring this up because I was just dwelling on this earlier when I was on my way to class. Like I had a problem with like trust. Like, how do I know that I can trust, you know, when I come into, you know, the school versus like any other religion? Say, for example, you came out of Christianity or Islam or just in general, family, friends, relationships, you've been through a lot of trust and betrayal like Judas and Jesus. That was a prime example. Peter. So like, how do I know that when I come into this, that the trust factor will be there? How do I know? You know, as a young brother coming in, still learning more, how do I know?
I'm going to tell you, just like General Muhammad has told many hundreds of people who has asked that same question before you, no one in here is asking you to trust us. No one. I did not sit up here and ask you to trust me when I tell you that the sky is pink. I didn't ask you to trust me when I tell you that if you smoke weed and you sell drugs, you're going to die, get lung cancer, or end up in prison.
That's right.
I'm not asking you to trust me. You don't have to trust anything I say. What you can do is either do it or don't. That's what you can do. You can either not smoke weed because it's a sin and I'm telling you it, or you can go smoke weed. That's the only options you have. You can go do it or you can don't do it. I could tell you that you'll get AIDS and HIV and you'll die from getting AIDS and HIV for being a homosexual. You do not have to trust me. All you have to do is either go be gay or don't be gay, and then we can move along. Right. But this isn't about trust. You understand? There are many things that Christ said to the disciples that the disciples did not understand half the things Christ was talking about. You understand? But guess what? When they went out and years went on, and they seen how brothers died from using drugs, and they seen how brothers died from worshiping other gods, and they seen the condition of the people who was just like them because they disobeyed Christ, they knew what then? That he was right.
That's right.
They didn't have to trust Christ. All they had to do was obey him. Just do what you say. You understand? Does your son have to trust you, or does he have to do what you say to do? No, he has to do what you say to do. You understand? Your son don't have to. Son, do not put that blindfold on your eyes and run across the freeway. Does he have to? But Dad, how can I trust you? How can I trust that you have my life in your hand? Run across the freeway then. One way or another, you'll know that I was right and the world was wrong.
That's right.
One way or another, you'll know that I was correct and your thoughts were wrong because you're dead. because you're paralyzed in a wheelchair because you got hit by some truck because you didn't listen to what I told you to listen to. You understand? And that's how Christ rules. This place teaches us that democracy is the way that we're supposed to live. That's not true. This Bible, in the way that Israelites have always lived, is a monarchy. There's a king and there's a law and there's an enforcer of that law. Done. Now you can either follow it or not. But when you're on that deathbed because you have AIDS, because you was blowing rod for cigarette butts, you'll know then. And you'll be praying to the Lord to get a second chance, like every Christian does. Every Christian has a time of trouble, and they say, what? Please, Lord, if you get me out of this one, I won't do this again. I guess they should have just trusted us.
Right.
You understand? Or just do what we say do. You understand? No sweat. That's a great question, though. Great question. Go back to the scripture unless somebody else had anything else. Get ready to give me that question that's online.
Come on.
Everybody, if anybody needs anything, it's food in the back. Y'all get down. Tabawan, you'll help them out with that. Baba Kusadawan, if you could.
We was on the 4th verse.
Uh-huh.
Okay, feed the poor. Where was I? Oh yeah, and is kind.
Mm-hmm.
Charity envieth not. Charity if envieth not.
Uh-huh.
Charity vaunteth not itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
Hold on, Salagi, read that one more time.
This is the 4th verse.
Uh-huh.
Charity suffereth long and is kind.
Uh-huh.
Charity envieth not.
Mm-hmm.
Charity vaunteth not itself.
Uh-huh.
Is not puffed up.
And it's all brotherhood, right? Meaning you don't brag or boast because of the things that you do for someone else. You understand? Tabawan doesn't send me $200 because I'm $200 short on my car payment and come in here and teach class and say, I just want to let everyone know that I done sent Officer Yarmak $200 because his broke ass didn't have no money for his car payment. So everyone should look up to me now because I had some money. You understand? You don't do that. You don't puff yourself up like the Christians do. The Christians get out there and they puff themselves up for the things that they don't do. They lie about the things that they do. They tell you that they fed 2 million people, but really they stole from 6 million. Right. Really, they stole from everybody and let the crumbs fall off to the table to the people who they think nothing of, to the people that they do not pray for, to the people that they do not suffer for. You understand? Just like what's that pastor in Canarsie? Ain't the same pastor? More Whitehead. This brother, his charity does not suffer with long out. His charity is good when he's asking people to buy him a watch, or when he's asking people to give him money so that he have a jet. But as soon as that sister step out of line, his hand is gripping her neck like General Hyman was grabbing that chicken. You understand? Kicking, of course, if you ain't seen it, you ain't got it. But his charity doesn't suffer as long, man. Ours has to. That's the only way we survive. The only way we survive is this, and this is for the relationships that you have with your brothers, right? And also relationships that you may have with your husband or with your wife. And this is love. And of course, we know in the Bible that love is an action. And love is this, not the romantic butterfly feeling that you get in your stomach that the world teaches you it is. That's fake. Right. But love is this. Love is being able to absolutely hate the man sitting next to you, but not ever leave him. Right. To actually hate the woman that you like, that you lay in bed with, and not ever leave her. To never leave her to be alone. To never leave her to be in the streets and to now have to fight with herself to make the decision of being a whore or staying a righteous sister. Real love is saying, you know what? I hate that goddamn dragon. But you know what? That's mine. That's right. It's my goddamn dragon. And I'm going to stay with her for the rest of my life. And with that, then you'll build nations. You'll build kingdoms that our oppressor can't touch. Because it won't matter what kind of devices they put in you. They'll send the Ku Klux Klan at you to offer you money. They'll send the Aryan Nation or the Nazis to come and offer you money and say, if you work with us, we'll put you here, or we'll give you this position, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. Because you know that you'll never leave your brother, our nation would never crumble. But because of the leaders that we've had, our Christian leaders, our religious leaders, because of their lack of brotherhood and their lack of suffering for brotherhood for all people, that's why we've always fallen victim to our oppressor. Because somewhere down the line, someone's going to steal money from the funds that's supposed to feed the poor.
Right.
Someone is going to steal money for the funds that's supposed to go out to Puerto Rico to help them from the hurricane and the tragedies that they're going through right now. Someone is going to steal money from all of that's why people now today. What's the one that from Hurricane Katrina? The what?
I think FEMA.
FEMA. If that's correct, that's why now people right now don't want to send money to FEMA. You say you want to up the price to a whole $1 to send the chains over to FEMA. You like hell no. Why? Because you found out what them niggas they stole all that money. They ain't helped them people in Hurricane Katrina.
Right.
You understand? So many people died because of the lack of effort that America put to just go in and get them, man. You talking about one area that had a tragedy. The rest of America should have flooded Katrina. Everywhere should have flooded. Every airport, every military base should have flooded Katrina to go and get those people out. But of course, they don't give a damn about the poor, which is all who was left. You know why? Because Bill Gates, if he was in that town, he could have left. He got money. Right. You understand? Them NBA, how many NBA players in that? What was it? New Orleans? Or was it where was the Hurricane Katrina? It's like New Orleans. How many NBA players got flooded in the Hurricane Katrina? None. How many of the Saints got flooded? None. You understand? How many politicians got caught in Hurricane Katrina and flooded and died? None. You understand? But you know who did die? You.
Right.
You died. Which goes to show you that they don't give a damn about you, which is why we have to give a damn about each other.
Damn
you
right.
Understand? Just like Captain Yatazak and how he went out there to Acuna, and he raised up between him and the little bit of brothers that they have out there in Houston, Texas, and they raised up over $10,000 and had a convoy of I think about 11 cars deep with trucks and cars, and they traveled down to the border to where them Haitians refugees were being left to die, and they crossed over the border and went through level 4 security zones. Level 4 security zones means if someone breaks into your car, there ain't no 911. You can't call the police. If someone is raping your wife in this zone, you on your own. You can't call the police. They can take you out your car, chop your head off, do whatever they want to do because they run that area and whatever they see goes. And Captain Yatazak, because of his charity, because of his brotherhood to people who aren't even in the truth, to people who aren't in his congregation, not to the men who's paying tithes to Commander General Yohana, not to the men who's going to camp and defending him, not to the men that's helping him, making sure that he gets his bills paid, making sure that he has protection, making sure that the shamar for that school is intact. Not for them, but for the brothers who ain't done nothing for the UPK. Captain Yatazak and them brothers went out there and risked their life so that they can eat, so that they can have water, so that they can have a good life, if only just for a second, right. If only for a moment. Well, America don't give a damn about the Haitians, man. Which is why the Isupk is the only place where charity suffereth long.
That's right.
This is the only place you can go. Your fake Israelite group did not go to them Haitians. They did not go. You know why? Because in IUIC, you can't be a part of them unless you have a job. You can't join IUIC unless you have a job. They don't have brotherhood, man. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay, yeah, I'm on the 5th verse. Doth not behave itself unseemingly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. Think of no evil.
These are just the characteristics of your brotherhood and how you should behave yourself and with your brother. All right, drop that. Did somebody have a question in the room, or was it a question online first?
You got a question online.
What was online?
Come on, sir. Sister asks, is there a sin you cannot be forgiven for?
No. There is not a sin on earth that you cannot be forgiven for, because the Lord is in control of all that. You understand? The scriptures say, hold on 1 second. You got some?
Yeah, I had a question. You was also talking about counsel earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How is counsel like in the ISUPK versus like counsel like out in the world? Like, you know how you go to therapy, you go to places like that, or marriage counsel. How is the counseling different in here versus that?
I'll answer that question after I answer this one. Someone give me the scripture where it says, our thoughts are not his thoughts. And also, Thabo, one more I'm looking for. I might need your help. The Lord is in control of all of that. My brain is running away from me right now. Meaning the Lord, okay, we usually pull this precepts and people say, well, is there people that's going to be saved that's not in the truth? Yes, of course, because the Lord will have mercy on whom he have mercy on. You understand? So I need that one as well.
Salakia, sir. Isaiah 55 and 8. I got you.
Go ahead. What's that? Romans 9 and 18. Give me what you got, young man.
This is the book of Isaiah 55, verse 8. It reads, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts."
Meaning the way that the Lord thinks, we can't even begin to consider. It's not something that's even made for us to consider. We don't have to try to break down why this or why the Lord that, because his thoughts are not our thoughts. It's not possible. Keep going.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Neither the way that we do things is the way that the Lord does things. Keep going.
Save the Lord.
And that's it. Now give me Romans 9 and 18. I'm answering the sister's question online, and after I answer it, then I'm gonna answer the question again.
Salakia, sir. Got it.
Go ahead. What you got?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 18. And it reads, "Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy."
Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy. The Lord want to have mercy on you, and you done been the biggest drug dealer that the world has ever seen, then that's up to the Lord. You understand? If he want to have mercy on you and not give you AIDS and die, even though you're being a homosexual, then that's on him. The Lord want to have mercy on you because you was committing adultery. You understand? Then that's on the Lord. We, of course, all know the story of when Christ caught the woman in adultery, right? The Lord, Christ had mercy on her and gave her the chance to do what? What did she get the chance to do? Even though, let me ask you this first. Would the Sadducees have been wrong for stoning that woman to death when she was caught committing adultery? Would they have been wrong?
Sir.
No, they wouldn't have been wrong according to the law. But Christ gave her a chance. Now, what was the chance that Christ gave her?
Salakia, sir. To follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
To never do it again. You understand? Meaning you walking on thin ice if you believe that you're going to continuously sell drugs, and because you made it out the first day, that you're going to make it out the next day. You understand? Of course, in here, me and my brothers, we make our election sure. We make sure that we ain't falling on mercy or on grace. Matter of fact, give me where grace runs out. Because of course we're in a grace period. Hold on. Somebody had a hand raised in the back.
Salakia, sir.
I think it was some Sadat. And I'll come back to you.
Salakia, sir, this is on topic and kind of off. But like even when we at camp and Esau comes and kisses our boot, that's up to the Most High to grant that, Edomite, mercy if he chooses to.
Right. You understand? That's why we tell them, you may get mercy when the Lord come back. Because Christ may see you, he may be like, nah, nigga, you was King Herod back in the day. Yeah, you going under. That's right, I don't give a damn how many boots you kiss. You was the Roman that stuck that pierced my rib. Here, you going all the way under. Kiss all the boots you want to. We don't know. Of course, Maya Shah, you got something?
Oh, no, I got the scripture you want.
Go ahead.
Come.